And hello, welcome back to episode 3 of AMXAS podcast. This is episode 3, and I'm your host, Eli Uchima. I'm getting a lot better at this, I think. It's episode 3, still getting new this. Okay, so today's episode, I'm going to be talking about The Force Awakens. Now, last episode, I was talking about the movie without giving any spoilers. This time, I'm going to be talking about that movie in depth. I'll be talking about it so be warned. If you haven't watched the movie, then don't watch this. Don't listen to this because I'm going to be spoiling the movie. So I gave it a whole day to for everyone to go out and see it. So you still haven't, then that means you probably don't care. So here we go. I just want to talk about the movie is really good. Like the only I found some people who haven't liked it, and then I asked them the question, "Did you see any of the other Star Wars movies?" And they go, "We have seen." And no, some of them go, "I haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies." So I think to really understand the movie, you pretty much need to know the what happened before. It's not a new movie. It's people don't understand the 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3. They don't understand how the movies came out. They really don't care. So watch the older movies before you do the newer movies. That's my advice for that. So if you are confused, then that is why. Um, I remember. Spoiler alert for anyone that doesn't know. Han Solo dies. Just laying that out. Okay. I know it's pretty sad, but yeah, we all saw it. For the fans that knew, like pretty much everyone knew it was coming. I mean, Han Solo. I mean, Harrison Ford didn't really. I mean, you saw him in the movie. He wasn't like doing that much. You know, he was moving around. He's moving. He was good for his age, but I mean, I there was discussion about like his contract was up for the next movie. So I mean, or he only signed up for this movie or thing. But I saw a photo. I saw somebody say that the then this cast will be in the next upcoming movies, the entire cast. So maybe we'll see Han Solo in a flashback or something, because I mean Star Wars doesn't do flashbacks, and the only flashback we saw was when Rey was in the movie. Like we Star Wars has never done a flashback. That was the first time we've ever seen a flashback. We've seen major foreshadowing using the Force, but that was the first time we really got to see what's inside the Force. Rey being inside. This like little dream sequence. It's pretty cool. I was really I was shocked. I was like, oh man, what is this? Is all like happening so fast, and we see the Knights of Ren, and we see Kylo Ren, we see R2D2 with Luke. We're still wondering what happened with all that. Why R2D2 was in a hibernation or whatever or whatnot. I think the first thing we should talk about is Rey's parents, because in that sequence, she did. There was. That's the only thing we can see where her parents are, somehow involved. No one knows who her parents are. It's just left a mystery. But we saw a ship flying away, and we saw some dude going, taking her hand. It was like a little Rey. I don't know if it was the same robes or not. I have to watch the movie again, but if it was the same robes, that'd be a little weird, because she's dressing up the same way. It's like, I don't know, her outfit that she wore 3 days straight in the entire movie. But maybe I don't know if she has any other. She dressed differently at the end of the movie, but it was the only time we really liked that. But she didn't really change her appearance at all. In that sequence, people are saying that Luke is her father. A lot of my friends think that it is. She is Luke's daughter. I don't think so. I don't think that. I really don't think that. I really think that there's a lot more mystery to that. My buddy George said that his belief, and what me and him both agreed with, because we both watched the movie together. He said that Rey's parents were they're Padawans to Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren. I guess when Kylo Ren killed all of Luke's training Jedi. He Kylo Ren killed Rey's parents in the process, and I guess they had to save Rey, keep her somewhere else, so they put her on the ship all the way to Jakku, and that's that. I don't know. To me, I wasn't. I'm not really into the. I really want to know what that sequence is about, but it's all just going to be speculation. It's all going to be this or that, and I don't really want to get into all that, because there's this other. There's a movie called Guardians of the Galaxy where they hint at Star-Lord's father, and we don't know who his father is, and it's not based on they're not based on the comic books. Who knows? But there's been too much speculation, too much people putting too much thought into it, and the director gets pissed off and everything. It's just going to be big fiasco. So I wouldn't worry about that. That we'll learn throughout the movies, and it'll probably let people down, because it's going to become one of those theory things, and it's going to get blown out of proportion. So I'm not. I don't really care about that. But Rey's background, we saw her. She was in the movie. She was just a drifter, and she kept wanting to go back to Jakku, and like. Everybody's like, why do you want to go to Jakku? This is a big adventure out there. Like all the people that watch the movie, they're like, why does she want to go back to Jakku? Jakku is home. It's like Earth. Just think about it. As you live on Earth, that's where you know everything. That's where your home is, and you know where the stores are. You know where countries are, and you know everything about it. I mean, so I can relate. Like if you get taken to these other planets, you're gonna miss home. It's gonna be those, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that you're gonna have that feeling of, homesick, where you want to go back home. And I think that's just how she felt. Like, it made sense. It made sense. It's not a stupid thing. It's human nature. And I don't know. We also got to see. We also found out, it's confirmed that Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son. He's named Ben Solo. They switched it from the EU universe, where Ben Skywalker, it was called Ben Skywalker, was the son of Luke Skywalker. So they switched it around. Did sort of a Star Trek Into Darkness thing, where they switched things a little bit. We kind of expected Kylo Ren was going to be a son of somebody. I was thinking that, to me, I thought more Rey was going to be the daughter of Solo and Leia, but it was actually Kylo Ren, so I'm cool with that. And I just had this joke where maybe Rey is also Han Solo and Leia's daughter as well, but they just don't care about her. Like, they just keep her in the dark. Like in the entire movie, when Finn was trying to rescue her and telling her, "Oh, she's over there on the other planet, and we have to go find her. We have to go rescue her." Leia and Han Solo were just like, "Okay, yeah, she'll take care of herself." Like they didn't really care. Like I thought, something they knew something about her. Maybe there's something about her that maybe the entire other characters know. Maybe Finn doesn't, because he's been a stormtrooper all his life. I give props to that Finn is a stormtrooper. We get to see this different side to the stormtroopers. We got to see the inside. Not all stormtroopers are bad, and we saw from Finn. At least one. There's one stormtrooper that thinks it's so wrong, it's so messed up that what he's doing, and he doesn't want to live. It's like being a Nazi, and I'm not trying to fight for them, but maybe not every single Nazi was the exact same. So it was just that was a cool concept where they showed the other side of the story, and I really enjoyed that opening sequence. because he's just a stormtrooper. I thought at first, when I first saw the opening scene, I thought he was the like some type of traitor, working as a spy. But he actually was a stormtrooper that grew up and was like all that. So that, yeah, that changed things up. I loved Poe Dameron's character, because that was the first joke in the entire movie, where he goes when he gets uh, captured by Kylo Ren and the stormtroopers, and then he gets brought down to his knees, and then he's like, "Do you speak first, or I speak first?" And I just thought that was just so good. I knew as soon as he said that it was going to be a great movie. I was going to enjoy this movie, because it quickly just made me feel like so much better. I felt, I wasn't tense anymore. I wasn't going to be like, oh man, maybe this, maybe that, maybe it's going to be bad after this scene. No, I knew as soon as they said that joke, oh, it's going to be good. So I love that. I love BB-8, as I've said, and I did not know that. I thought BB-8 was just going to be some droid, that just wanders up. Not a lot of people liked BB-8. A lot of people love BB-8, but I mean, a lot of people didn't, because we're so used to R2D2. R2D2's, we love R2D2. You want to see R2D2? Don't worry, R2D2 is not replaced. BB-8's just another character. It's like if R2D2 was through 6 movies and we never got C-3PO, we got C-3PO now. I mean, it's like they're husband and wife. They're together. It's like now this BB-8 character's in here. I love seeing this. I love seeing it. And this droid is more movable. Like, it's mobile. It's like able to do more stuff than R2D2. So I understand why they had this little soccer ball, droid out here. And I did not know that it was going to be the character of this movie. Like, everyone's trying to get it. Like, Kylo Ren talking about, like, oh yeah, it's a BB droid. We need to find it. Like, that was like all these like evil villains. Like, you think about Supreme Leader Snoke talking about BB-8. It's just like this little cute droid is like the center of the universe. And everyone's trying to get it. And I just love that concept where they're not because in the originals, R2D2 and C-3PO, they basically helped out the rebels, and they basically just defeated the Empire. If it wasn't for them, the Empire would have won, because they've helped out. C-3PO and R2D2 have helped out enormous amounts of time, and I just love. I actually just didn't like when they were ignored, by like stormtroopers, or because they're just droids. I mean, it was just like, okay, so they just get like a free pass for everything. But now this, so because droids were just ignored throughout the entire, like, if you see a droid, I mean, they're not evil or bad or anything. They're just there, and so I can understand. But this new movie, this Force Awakens, BB-8's just this character that everyone's trying to get, and everyone's just it's pretty cool. I like that concept. I didn't think this movie was more like in its own universe. They're in their own world. They understood where everything was, unlike the prequels, where they were just placed. And the originals, we liked how they Han Solo, Leia, Luke, everyone knew they basically lived in their universe. They felt like it was lived in. That universe was lived in, and that's why we loved the original so much, because they knew what Tashi Station was, and power converters and all this other stuff. They just it felt like they understood where they lived. And the prequels, they were in their own universe. They were so static, and it felt like it was just so like everything was according, and everything was like I think Star Wars prequels just felt like it was trying to capture the I don't know about the prequels. I'm still trying to figure out why because the prequels had so much potential to be a great success, just like these movies are. The Force Awakens, it had potential. It could have been there, but we missed a lot of things. They missed a lot of things, and they just didn't. It just didn't fall in place. Like they expected. Oh yeah, the audience is gonna love this. Audience is gonna love that because you know I don't know. I think the fans sort of like blended into the production. It's sort of like, you know, they thought this is what the audience wanted, and they made it so that they made sure that everyone would love the movies, and it turned out very, very wrong. But man, The Force Awakens. My God, I love this movie. Like I can't, I keep saying it, but I just love this movie. Supreme Leader Snoke. Um, Still lots of speculation around him because people don't know who he is, like how he became into power or anything like that. We'll learn as we go. We'll learn in maybe Rogue One. We'll learn who he is. But no one knows who Supreme Leader Snoke is. He as soon as we see him, he's this giant dude, and I was like, whoa, he's really really big. And Andy Serkis talked about this character being like really, really big, and I was like, are they serious? Are they really going for that? And you see him in the movie, and he's like, whoa, they actually did that, and that was pretty damn cool. But I don't. But then we see like he was like this hologram. Instead he was just this hologram, and uh, so we don't know how big he actually is. Maybe he is that size of the hologram. Maybe that's just the hologram size. Maybe he's like really really small. I don't think anyone's thought about that. Maybe he's really really small, and he's using a hologram to make himself look bigger. But I don't know. No one knows where he is, and no one. At the end of the movie, he tells an officer to bring Kylo Ren back to finish his training. So after Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, then I guess the Darks they took that concept from when in the EU universe where Han Solo's son did actually kill him, and that was the final initiation. That was his initiation to join the dark side. So I loved how they kept that because Kylo Ren killing his father. I think that's the final step that he needed. That's basically what happened in the movie. There's nothing else that really happened at the end. He just killed his father. So that's what we learned. That's I definitely know that's why he killed his father. He didn't kill him like for anything. He was choosing a side. He was choosing whether it was the dark side or he was going to choose the light side, and he chose the dark side, and he killed his father, and he basically said, all right, this is the path I'm going to choose. And I love how the Star Wars, they're really embracing that choose your side thing. It has this movie has a moral and has something to learn, instead of just flashy animatronics and all this stuff. They are trying to make a message, choose your path and all this stuff. And we see that from Rey. Lupita Nyong'o's character, Maz Kanata, she says, "Hey Rey, this is a lightsaber. It's destined to you. It's from Luke Skywalker. You should use it." And Rey says no, and she basically just walks out and walks out on it because she doesn't want that life. Everybody, every Star Wars fans would disagree with that. Like, oh, lightsaber, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely give it a spin. But there's things we gotta understand about Rey. Just she is, she's a character, and they're trying to show this different side. Maybe she doesn't want to live a life where it's all adventure and everything. But at the very end of the movie, I did not expect her to be holding that lightsaber and facing Kylo Ren. The entire all the trailers and everything, they pointed to Finn facing Kylo Ren at the end of the movie. That was the entire trailers, and you see him with the lightsaber at the end. He looked like he was gonna get messed up. Like Kylo Ren was gonna destroy him, and as you see his facial expressions and everything, like, he was going to mess him up, and I just love that. And we never got to see, we never seen in any trailer Ray, right, he was actually with the lightsaber because Kylo Ren did mess up. Like he jacked up Finn so bad, like, he just knocked him out. And I knew that was gonna happen. He's gonna beat him up, and there'll be some type of ex machina where Finn gets his life saved and everything, and he did. Because I knew, we see Finn earlier in the movie where it's the first time with the lightsaber, he's just stabbing, some clone troopers, when they start battling. And there's this clone trooper that comes out. He goes traitor, and then he takes out his little spinny, thing. I forget. I don't know what I have to learn. I have to learn more about but the weapon is the spinny thing on the wrist, and he fights this one stormtrooper out of nowhere. Like, he says traitor, and they fight. It was so cool. I was like, okay, there are stormtroopers are badass, but I think that random stormtrooper should have been Captain Phasma, because she didn't do anything in the entire movie. She was the most disappointing character in the entire movie. She did not do anything. She did not die. I think it's been confirmed where they said that she did not die. She will be in episode 8, and she'll be in later movies. So we definitely have to have more of her because she only had 3 minutes of screen time. She had potential to be this really awesome, amazing character, and she basically held her gun high, and the entire movie she didn't do anything. Yeah, so I don't. Uh, we still have to see more of her because I don't. Everyone's been disappointed in her character. She's the most disappointing character, and that's the only reason why this movie is not 100%, function, because everyone kind of was like, oh yeah, and we have these fans who really wanted to see this character, and she just fell flat. But I think that if she had that scene where she's facing Finn, and that she had that little bracelet weapon on her arm, she faced him and she beat him up, that would make more sense, rather than this random stormtrooper, beating up, Finn, and then you expect, oh yeah, Finn's gonna have to face Kylo Ren at the end of the movie. How is he gonna do that? Like, he's getting beat up by this random stormtrooper. So if it was Captain Phasma, because Finn did kill like a few stormtroopers, during the movie. He was just stabbing a lightsaber, even though he had no training. He basically, they basically regifted the lightsaber from Rey because she didn't want it. So they were like, all right, Finn, you have a lightsaber and you do this. So he takes it. He's like giving a free ride and he's slaying these stormtroopers. I think it would have been better if Captain Phasma was, facing Finn right there. She would, had more story. I think people would have liked her more if she just had that one little extra scene, because they have too many characters, too much. They're trying to reintroduce the old characters, and they're trying to establish these new characters. And there's a whole bunch of characters that it would be too much. So I think that would have been cool if, instead of just having these random stormtroopers, you had Captain Phasma there. That would have been really cool, really awesome. They didn't do that. So that was kind of disappointing. And for those who don't know, Finn FN 2187. I loved how they started talking about, like, oh yeah, they took kids from their families and raised them to be stormtroopers. I like that concept. I like that. That's really cool. That's awesome. And as I said, Finn's character of running away from the I forgot the stormtroopers. Like, I like that. I really like that a lot because he was I don't know. What can I say? The entire movie, they really liked. I really liked how the stormtroopers were more evil this time. And the originals, they were really, like, they're weak, and they never shot. The only time they were shot and hit their target is Leia, in the beginning of the movie and episode 4. And they shot her, but it was just a stunt. They didn't shoot. They did kill some rebels in the beginning, but we didn't see that. We saw people falling. So maybe the rebels were just hurt and they just fell over. So we never really get to see stormtroopers taking a shot and actually, not missing. But this time in this movie, as soon as these stormtroopers, they're all in this big, truck that's coming in, they're with this, this ship. They're all in the ship. As soon as they come out, they just raid this village. The first two shots they make, they do not miss. And I knew as soon as I saw that, oh yeah, these stormtroopers are they're, they ain't putting up with nobody. They are going to be evil. They're going to be, ruthless. And, maybe Finn is like that stormtrooper that we would probably see in the originals where, they miss all their shots, maybe on purpose, maybe, who knows. But I like that concept. Uh, Lor Santeca, he was played by Max von Sydow in the movie. I don't know who his character was. I thought he was gonna be like Plagueis. Max von Sydow is like that evil character that we saw in Shutter Island, and he's a really great actor. I thought he was gonna be like I thought he was gonna be a bad guy, but he ended up just dying in the first 5 minutes. So I felt like because I thought he was gonna be Plagueis, to be honest, because he has that sort of like Plagueis vibe, and don't talk saying he's old, he's too old to be Plagueis. No, we had the guy who played Palpatine. Yeah, he's pretty damn old. So if Max had played Plagueis, ooh, that would have been so great. That would have been so good. I would have. Oh, because I had so much feeling. I was like, oh man, I hope he plays Plagueis, because he was in the movie. He's marked out as part of the cast, and I was like, it could probably be Plagueis, and because they didn't say anything about his character, or any of his names or anything like that. So, but in the beginning of the movie, Kylo Ren stops this laser that Poe shoots at Kylo Ren. He stops it midair. I don't. It's either Kylo Ren has so much force that he has so much power that he can stop it, or he's not using the force at all. I don't want to get proven wrong, okay, but maybe that wasn't the force. As my buddy George said, he was using some type of mechanism, because not even Darth Sidious had enough power to stop that laser. Who knows? To me, Kylo Ren is more of like this amateur, evil villain. He's not perfect anyways. His lightsaber, if you looked at his lightsaber, it's not a regular lightsaber. It's sparking, and it's going off and everything, and that's not an actual lightsaber. It's it's something that he just crafted himself. And maybe he's doing that same thing with the Force. Maybe that's not the correct way to use the Force. And as Max von Sydow said it to Kylo Ren in the movie, you don't have that the correct power. You think your training is so good, and Kylo Ren just slays him because he didn't really like that. I love Kylo Ren as the villain because he was really good. Thank God they did not pull a Darth Maul stunt on this guy, because if he had one line, I would have been pissed. But yes, Kylo Ren had character. He had depth. He had emotion. People didn't like how he was whining and complaining, but I was like, you know what? His character that whined and complained, and his name was Anakin Skywalker. And there was a character who whined and complained, and his name was Luke Skywalker. And we find out Darth Vader is his grandfather, and Luke Skywalker is his uncle. And so it kind of falls in place. It made sense. And we saw Luke Skywalker in Episode 4. He was annoying, and he was like this brat. Like, he didn't really care. But as the movies went along, he became more and more wise, and that was something that was really good. We saw this character go from I can't wait. I need to get the power converters at Tashi Station. And now we see him at the end of the movie. At the very end of the movie, Luke Skywalker's there. He turns around. He's not talking about power converters. I like he is now the wisest character in this entire series now. I can't wait to see the relationship between all of the characters now, because Snoke's gonna come and play, in the next movie, hopefully in episode 9, maybe, perhaps. And Luke Skywalker is definitely gonna come and play. I can't wait to see the collaboration between all these characters now, except, now for Han, now he's dead. There's been speculation that they're Han Solo didn't die. He just, stabbed the lightsaber and fell. And people are trying to deny that he died, but yeah, Han Solo is dead. There's no trampoline. There was no trampoline at the bottom of the Starkiller base. So it's Han Solo. His character's dead. He has died, and I just love the scene after when Han Solo died. After that part, Chewbacca just goes, and he just hauls it, just kills all of these stormtroopers out of nowhere. And I love to see that Chewbacca. He still has a lot of fight in him. Just taking down all these guys. I love Chewie. So much more when he does those things, and his humor with Finn throughout the movie was spot on, perfect. I love that. Everybody's collaborate. Everybody's humor. Everybody's chemistry works so well in the movie. Finn and Rey and BB-8 and Chewie, Han Solo and Rey. Everybody's it felt like, okay, this is a good team. I even liked it more than what we got to see. Another thing I didn't really I didn't quite understand is, okay, they switched Ben's name to Han's son. Okay, that's Ben's son. I mean, that's Han Solo's son is Ben Solo. Okay. Did Han Solo really connect with Obi-Wan Kenobi? Did he really I don't know, and neither did Leia. I mean, the only time they were ever with each other was in Episode 4. I mean, Leia never met Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, when she was born, he was there, but he kind of just cared about Luke way more than he cared about her. Then the only time that she sees Obi-Wan Kenobi is him getting slain by Darth Vader. That was the only time that she ever, saw him. So I don't understand why they named him Ben. I don't know. That's just me. I hopefully somebody explains that to me, because Han Solo, I don't think really really connected with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was just some fool, and at the time he didn't care about the Force either, so he didn't really care about Jedi. And he didn't really, find those things interesting. So I would understand if Luke Skywalker's son was called Ben, because it makes sense. He's that father figure for Luke Skywalker. He looks up to Ben Kenobi. So of course he would name his son Ben. They switched around for this one, but it didn't quite make sense because they didn't really have any connection. Han Solo and Leia didn't meet Obi-Wan Kenobi. They didn't really have any connection. Han Solo did meet him in the Mos Eisley Cantina, but I mean, a few jokes here and there, but they felt like they didn't get along. But I know, it's just me that I just don't quite understand that. And as I said in my last episode, the non-spoiler review, there was a character that we all knew was going to be in this movie, but we didn't know how they were going to put them in the movie. We knew how General Leia is going to be in the movie. She was going to be in the movie. We didn't know how Han Solo and Chewbacca were going to be introduced in the movie. They came out of nowhere. We saw it coming like 20 seconds before, but we were like, okay, this is the part where they're going to show. Okay, that's cool. And they did a nice execution. First thing they say, Chewie, we're home, and that was great. That was amazing. No one knew where Luke Skywalker was. Not the audience, and nobody in the movie knew where Luke Skywalker was. Everybody's trying to figure out where Luke Skywalker is. That's the main plot in the entire movie. Where is Luke Skywalker? And I love that. That was, it's sort of like it's more like fan. That'll be like a fan movie where, oh, they're trying to find Luke Skywalker, and that'd be something cool to see. Like this movie was basically like this big fan film, and it was part of the entire story. So I love that. But it'd been funny if it was just this big fan movie where, oh, they're trying to. It'd be cool to see like somebody, if somebody incorporate this movie and say, oh, this, they did everything the exact same. They had these new characters, new droids, and everything, and Luke Skywalker just, where's Luke Skywalker? You can base a whole movie, get new characters like that, and then Luke Skywalker appears at the end. It would have still been a great movie. That I really like. They knew what to do with that, because they know Luke Skywalker's OP. He took down entire empire and the emperor, and yeah, and he helped his father bring balance to the Force, and he's the son of Darth Vader. He has so much Force now, and everyone's talking about. Everybody knows him. Everybody thinks he's a myth, and he's OP. So if he was in this movie, he would have destroyed everybody. He would have taken down so many people, and we have to understand now he's not the main character of these movies anymore. Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, he was the main character. He was the main person. That's his story. That's his story arc. Episode 1, 2, and 3, it's his father's, and episode 4, I'm sorry, episode 7, 8, and 9, it's going to be new main characters. So I'm pretty sure it's going to follow Skywalker. So I kind of agree with the fact that Rey is related to Luke Skywalker. Sorry, George. That's what I just kind of think. I think that Skywalker is always going to be the main thing, but I could be proven wrong and here and there. But it'd be cool to see like a new characters. And I heard John Campea on Collider talk about we're done with the Skywalkers. There's this new. It's good to see this new characters in here. I don't know. It can go back and forth. We can see it, but once you see the movie, then we'll all know. It's a good 20% chance she could be related to Skywalker, and there's good 30% chance she's not. There's so many ways to put it out, but we basically just have to look at the clues that J.J. Abrams left for us in the movie. That little flashback scene. And Luke Skywalker, as we know, he was basically training like the entire movie. He was just, or was meditating, because after he trained Kylo Ren, and trained all these Jedi. As Han Solo said, that's the last thing we saw him doing. He was training these Jedi, and then Kylo Ren turned on him and turned on this, with these other Jedi. I think that was pretty cool to see. Pretty cool. See Kylo Ren, basically, with the Knights of Ren. That was cool to see the Knights of Ren. Even though I had like 2 seconds, we saw more of them in the trailer than we did in the actual movie, and that was, so we still have to find out who the Knights of Ren are, and we have to figure out why Kylo Ren is the way he is, why he changed to the dark side. Was it Snoke? We still have to figure out more about him, and we have to figure out more about Luke Skywalker. Why did he go AWOL? The entire movie. And just let things go. We have a lot of things to learn from watching this movie, and everything is just left on a cliffhanger, and that was good. I'm glad that they didn't answer questions. I want them to answer some questions, but obviously the movie wouldn't have been great if they just answered everything. Oh, Luke Skywalker's here. This is what happened, and this is what happened. This is who Supreme Leader Snoke is. It just builds up more hype for Episode 8. As soon as we watched Episode 7, we were like, all right, we're gonna watch. Can't wait till Episode 8 comes out, and that was that. And then R2-D2. I love that scene. I love the scene where BB-8 pulls off the sheet off of R2-D2, and BB-8's like, oh, wake up, dude. Just wake up, and just come on, wake up. And C-3PO comes out and goes like, oh, I'm sorry, he's fell asleep, or he's hasn't been awakened, or his power units are down or whatever. I have to watch it again. But I just love, BB-8 knows this, or I don't know if BB-8 knows this is R2D2, or if just knew found a new friend. But BB-8 just was like, oh, come on, I just love that little interaction between the droids, where this new droid is, finds this relic, this awesome, amazing, droid, and then it powers on at the very end of the movie after, they come back and fight. If they, I don't know, people are saying that Luke Skywalker powered on, R2D2 from far, or something like that. We still have to figure out, why C3PO has a red arm and why R2D2 was, turned off and all that stuff. There's so many things you need to learn. There's so many things that you're going to be left unanswered, and we're going to speculate it for a very, very long time until Episode 8 comes out. We don't know a lot of things, but that's the thing about this movie is that they give us so little, but it's so much. They don't have to go, this is this, and all of these things. They don't give us all these, exposition, and it turns out to be this wonderful movie. They don't need all of that. They just need to say, oh, this is where they are right now. This is the present day, and we're going to learn all about that as we go along. As the future progresses, we'll learn more about the past. I like that. Um, I guess we and also the dream little, I call it the dream sequence that Ray was in, the Force sequence. Um, yeah, I we that's something that's the key of the movie. That's where we watch the movie, and that's where we specifically need to watch the movie at, because that part of the movie is where we can answer a lot of questions. That's the best part, where the fans can speculate the most. That part, because you had the Knights of Ren, you've had you had parts of the movie that were going to be shown in the rest of the movie, because it basically foreshadowed how the movie was going to end. She had the Force, and that was the first time she used the Force, and that was the Force awakening. For the people that don't know, that part where she sees the lightsaber out, or when she's about to touch a lightsaber, that's when the Force awakens. I could be wrong. I have to watch the movie again, but I think, yeah, I think that part is when the Force awakens. Because I don't know if Snoke said if there's awakening before or after that part, but yeah, I guess Snoke can feel the Force as well. Not a lot of people talking about that, but he said, I can can you feel the Force? It's awakening, and everyone kind of skimmed over that. He's probably the Sith now. He's the master, now, and Kylo Ren is going to finish his training to become the apprentice, and now it's going to be the rule of two again, and it's going to be amazing. Uh, that part where the Force awakens, that's the key. That's where we have to look at, and they also said that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda's voice can be heard in that scene. So I definitely have to watch that movie again, because, like I said, this movie, I watched it one time. As soon as it came out, I'm still like super hyped from it, but I still have to watch it to fully understand everything that came out of it. Um, why doesn't I'm reading these questions online. It's pretty interesting. It says, why doesn't Leia try to save Kylo Ren herself? Um, I don't. Carrie Fisher didn't do that great of a job. You can tell like she wasn't acting for a while, but um, yeah, and yeah, she's time really changed her way of acting. I don't know about that, but I don't think I want to see her pointing lasers. Her being a general makes sense. Her standing by, being a Batman of the Justice League, where she's just sitting down, making all these plans, where she can just sit and watch, Han Solo dies. It makes sense. That makes more sense. Too bad we don't get to see the three. We don't get to see Luke Skywalker, Han Solo and Leia all together in the same room, or have Lando Calrissian come back and C-3PO and have the original cast for like a little, shawarma scene or something like that. But it's making way for the new. Now we're going to love these new characters. We're definitely going to love these new characters, and we're definitely going to, when maybe the future movies come out, then we're gonna, you're gonna love, when Rey is. I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much for right now. I we still don't know anything about this movie. We still don't know who the Knights of Ren are. I've heard when I first heard about Knights of Ren. I'm stuttering so bad. When I first heard about the Knights of Ren, they were just Darth Vader's a little fan club. That's basically what I knew about them. We still don't know who they are. We don't know how Kylo Ren had Darth Vader's helmet. That was something that was unexplained. It's also why Luke Skywalker. Why doesn't he have his lightsaber anymore? Did he stop being a Jedi? Who knows? Maybe he just lost it. Maybe Rey just found it for him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, that's where it was." Because maybe he didn't want to go outside with his lightsaber. Who knows? There's a lot of fun things we can think of. And I'm looking at this picture of Knights of Ren, and everyone's like, "Oh, that staff's gonna come and play with one of the Knights of Ren holding a staff," and it's like, yeah, and he didn't really that character was not anybody. It wasn't Snoke. It was anybody. It was just really cool, but who knows? Could still be Snoke. It still could be these all things. And a lot of people are saying, well, Snoke, Darth Plagueis could still be Supreme Leader Snoke. That's still there. It's still speculation. Can Jar Jar Binks be Supreme Leader Snoke? That's another question. It's a definite no from everybody. But it's a definite no. Coming from me, I was a guy that I really kind of opened up that Jar Jar is the Sith a lot of ways. I was putting it everywhere on social media. I was liking the video, and I was telling people like everywhere Jar Jar was going to be the Sith in the prequels. He was going to reveal himself in Episode 2. Instead of having Count Dooku just come out of nowhere and, oh, it's a big fight, he was going to reveal himself as the Sith. And that would have mirrored the originals, Luke, I'm your father. They would have been at the same level of twist. So the second movie of the trilogies, we're always going to have this big twist. I don't think so anymore. It would have been cool to see Jar Jar come out and reveal himself, and then face Yoda at the end of part 2. That's a whole new video I'm going to talk about later on, probably. I don't know. There's just so many things. Maz Kanata, a lot of people like Maz Kanata's character. She's like, "Where's my boyfriend?" And she's talking about Chewbacca. It's pretty cool. Maz Kanata is like the Yoda of this new movie. She's not a Jedi or anything, but she knows the Force. Now that was cool to realize. This you can have characters that are not Jedi know the Force. So maybe Supreme Leader Snoke is not some type of Sith. He's actually just knows the Force. I don't know. There's so many things. Who is Maz Kanata? They said she trained Han Solo and all these things. I really like that whole. It's like a new Mos Eisley, cantina where they had this cool music going on, better music. No music video in the movie, thank God. In their speculation is Maz Kanata dead. I have to watch the movie again, but I don't know if because we see that's where the entire cast kind of splits. Rey gets captured, whatnot, and Finn starts fighting, and everyone's going. I don't think she died, but I have to go watch the movie again because, well, if she died, then they would have shown that. Same as Phasma. Did she die? No, she didn't die. There, she has a whole. They have to have more story than for these characters. If they just lived in this one, 2-minute scenes, that'd have been very, very bad, very bad. If Phasma did die and Maz Kanata died, I would be really, really. I'd be dreading that. That's not even like, cool. Um, I don't know. There's just so many things about this movie. I love to talk about like a lot of things. I have to get my friends I have to get my band to talk this with me because I'm missing a lot of stuff, and there's so much things I want to talk about. But oh my god, I hopefully I covered a lot of things here. I don't know. I have to watch the movie again. I'm going to go buy the actual 1 through 6. I didn't have 1 through 6. I want to buy all the DVDs. I'm not gonna get on Blu-ray. Like a lot of people don't have Blu-ray, so I want to go around, showing this movie, all the movies with everyone. So I'm gonna get on DVD. I'm gonna go. Um, I'm gonna go this Wednesday actually, and going to meet an old friend of mine. It's pretty cool, and we're gonna go watch the movies all together. We're gonna start like in the morning, so hopefully hopefully I get to watch the movies again once because she hasn't seen the movie either, so she hasn't seen any of the movies, and so she's everyone I know like if you're not a part of the hype, you didn't know anything about the movies, then all this hype is sort of annoying. I can understand that. I understand that about a lot of things. I'm not a big fan of Fast and Furious, but when everyone was talking about Fast and Furious, I was like, oh, okay, it's great. I was annoyed by it. I'm pretty sure if I watched the movie, I would be like, oh, okay, I enjoyed it, but I can understand why people get annoyed by the hype, and I can understand why people get annoyed by me with the Star Wars thing. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna watch the movies with her, and hopefully we're gonna go 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the best way to do it. For those of you who don't know, for those of you who are watching this haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies, shame on you. But if you're going to watch the movies, and this is for everyone who is going to watch the trilogy, this whole saga before watching the movies, go 4, 5, and 6, and then 1, 2, and 3, and then watch episode 7. If you watch 1, 2, and 3 first, you're not gonna like it. It's gonna probably be annoying. You probably won't like it. And then you watch 4, 5, and 6, where the technology is like so less advanced than before, and now you're gonna like. I mean, you probably fall in love with it, but I'd rather you watch that in the intentional order, where it's 4, 5, and 6, where you get all these characters and you can see the actual timeline, the actual why you can get the twist. In episode 4, 5, and 6, in part 5 we get this twist. It's all like, oh wow, that's crazy, that's amazing. If you watch 1, 2, and 3, it's going to destroy all that build up. So yeah, don't watch 1, 2, and 3 first. Watch 4, 5, and 6 at those intentional orders. They are made just like that. Then watch 1, 2, and 3. Then waste your money, spend money, buy that ticket for episode 7. Thank you. Bye.